Hello, and welcome to the Cup Ringside, part of the Cup Network, where we give you the best seat in the house of all things wrestling. And this week we are giving you the best seat in the house of all things NXT. I am your girl Lana, your resident evil diva. I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, drink the tea because you know I love me some tea purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently just drinking on some Bart's root beer. Not really sponsored, but we would love to be if you want to, Bart's. Um, if you want to sponsor, like it. But that's what I'm drinking. If I was drinking anything else, because I didn't want to put Bart's in my cup mug, and you can get your cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanadcreations.etsy.com. And if you haven't checked out our Etsy shop in a while, you should go back because we have new things in it. So go check out the cup official cup merch store and go check that out. Get your cup merch, period. And we do ship domestically here in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. And we do ship internationally. We do it. We back again doing it internationally. So there are no excuses. Get your cup merch, period.
All right, and we got Donovan, number one member of the Whoop That Trick fan club, aka number one member of the Young OG fan club. And I've been gone for a couple of weeks, but I'm back and I'm ready to talk some NXT. This was an interesting episode to say the least.
Absolutely. I'm moving Donovan into the hosting position because this is gonna be big. I'm just gonna be sitting back here giving the color commentary, and I'm gonna let Donovan do all the heavy lifting. But before we jump into NXT, y'all know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. If you're here, we appreciate you watching. Hit that subscribe button because, yes, this was an exciting episode of NXT. So we appreciate you watching. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bells and all that thing so you know every time we drop videos because we do have videos coming out every single week. We got Raw Tape, we got Who's Next, we got Lana SmackDown, all coming out every week. And then, of course, we throw in our PLEs and top tens and top tiers and all kind of stuff going on. So check out this channel. We're trying to grow. This is our newest channel. We're trying to grow this channel. So help us out and hit that subscribe button. And if you look down in our description below, you will be able to see we have other channels that we would love for you to subscribe to. All of those links will be in our link tree below, and all three channels that we have, go check it out. Subscribe to all of those channels and our membership channels and our audio platforms. All of those are in the description below. Do all those things to check it to say we support you, support us because we appreciate you and we want to keep giving you amazing content. So check it out. Period. Donovan, it's on to you.
All right, let's go. So this week NXT 5/28/24, the show starts off with Ava talking about the Women's North American Championship match and Battleground in general is going to be at the UFC Apex a week from Sunday. And she has the belt out there. So, of course, she's building suspense of what does the belt look like, this, that, and the third. And then she brings out the special guest for tonight's episode of NXT, Sexy Red.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Sexy Red was the special guest of NXT tonight, and we also found out that she would be hosting NXT Battleground a week from Sunday in the UFC Apex. And also, she reveals the Women's North American Championship belt.
I mean, all of this is very lovely to me. I'm very like I was interested in. I was wondering what Sexy Red would be doing at NXT when they announced that she was coming. I was like,
Yeah,
why?
I was
like,
in the same boat.
I'm like, why? But Sure, she's hosting Battleground. Great, which we will be talking about here on the channel. So stick around for all
Stick
of
around for that.
come back and subscribe so you know all when we do our Battleground predictions and all of that stuff. But yeah, like okay.
Okay.
It was very much. It was very much like, okay, Stacey Red is here.
I will say she had the crowd turned up when
Mm-hmm.
she came out. Everybody singing her songs. She out there twerking and stuff, and everybody going crazy. Booker T especially going crazy on commentary. Booker T is a crazy man.
Booker T is wild. Booker T
But
is wild.
yeah, so we have Sexy come out. She reveals that she's going to be the host of Battleground, and then she reveals the North American Championship, which looks about the same as the men North American Championship.
Which
Just
I like. I
exactly.
appreciate. I appreciate that they didn't try to come out with a gimmicky title for the North American title for the women. I think
Yeah.
I think WWE is over that now, and they have come
Yeah.
into realizing that you can't give women butterfly belts. Even though I really did like the butterfly belt, I really did like the butterfly belt, but you can't do that. You can't give the women butterfly belts and then give these men these
Big gold belts
gold
and
belts
manly
when the
championship
women are
looking
doing the
belt.
same thing that the men are doing. Like
Yeah.
they're all out there performing the same, performing. And so I like that NXT, and I really like the NXT belts anyway. And so I'm glad that it looks like the men's belt.
Yeah. NXT, they do a good job with their belts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Probably better than the main roster.
Mm-hmm. Probably a little bit. Probably a little bit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So cool looking belt. I like the belt. She reveals the belt, and Tatum Paxley slides under the ropes and is trying to steal the belt from Sexy Red. I don't understand what's her obsession with championship belts. She's never won a championship belt to my knowledge, so I don't understand her obsession with it, but okay.
She's weird. Like this obsession is something else. And you're right, she has never won a belt. So her obsession with the belts and the obsession with the people with the belts is kind of like, girl, actually win it first, and then
It,
you can have it, and you can
exactly.
obsess over it all you want. But tonight wasn't her night either, so she still ain't got no belt.
Nope. Because as she's trying to steal the belt, Micha comes out to stop her from stealing the belt from Sexy Red, which immediately goes into their qualifying match, which Meechin does win. So now she still doesn't get the belt.
Still gets no belt. She is just gonna be the person who obsesses over belts and never gets one. Is that is
Never
that
gets it.
is that gonna be her story arc? I don't know.
I hope not, because it's starting to run its course with me. I'm just
Uh,
gonna be honest about it. It's weird.
yeah,
I
I
get,
agree.
I get if you have won it and you lost it, and now you're like, I need it back, but you've never
Right.
won it. How
Never
are you gonna be
had it.
obsessed with something you've never had before?
That's wild to me. hmm
But yeah,
Overall, what you think of the match, though?
it was a good match. Jada Parker came out when she was on commentary,
hmm
just scoping out the scene. So it was a good match, though.
I
Meta,
agree. I thought. Well, I'll say it was an alright match for me.
yeah,
It was alright, but like I do love Meechin down here, Meechin in NXT,
uh
and
huh,
her being able to show what Meechin can do because I feel like the main roster was kind of swallowing her for a while,
yeah,
and I know how good Meechin is, so I'm very excited to see Meechin in NXT and thriving. And I mean, I wouldn't be mad if she won the whole thing, but I do have my favorite though, a
yeah.
couple of favorites.
I honestly with the Field of the Six. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mad at I'm not mad at any of them winning. To be completely honest
Oh,
with you,
I can agree with that. I can get down with that. I don't think any of them are like
it's not somebody in the match that's like if she wins. It's like really
why is she here?
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on, we go backstage, and Metaphor is still trying to figure out who has attacked Noam Dar, and
Mm-hmm.
Oro is they have confronted Gallus about it, and Gallus is like, "Hey, look, man, if we would have did it, we would have told you. We're upfront. We're loud about our attacks. We ain't do it,"
Right.
which makes Arlo think that it's Trick, and
Mm-hmm.
he's getting on Lash about it, and Lash like, "Look, Trick didn't do it. I know Trick. Trick didn't do it." But they're starting to have their doubts.
I mean, Trick told him last time, I don't attack from the back. I don't do sneak attacks. That's not what I do. So I don't know what. Look, I don't know what else he could tell him.
I
I don't know what else he could tell him at this point. Like I don't do sneak attacks. That's not me. But if you want to keep believing that it is me, you
mean,
know, whatever, man.
we got another backstage segment here with Lola Vice. She's working out backstage, throwing some punches against the air, shadow boxing, and Ariana Grace comes up to her, and she's
Mm-hmm.
trying to talk to her like, "Oh, come on," trying to de-escalate the situation between her and Shayna. Like, do you really need to go to another NXT Underground match? You just went through a grueling match last time, and I know you didn't come up with the win. And Lola stops her, and she's like, she basically challenges her to a match later on tonight. And Ariana's like, "Oh, uh,
I didn't.
that was not what I was trying to accomplish here."
I was just trying to, peacemaker. like
And
I'm
now
trying.
she has a match with Lola Vice, a
She like
pissed off Lola
a
Vice,
pissed off Lola Vice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you could tell she wasn't trying to go through that. They had to, she been cussing on TV. They got to beep out her language and all that. Next up, we got Riley Osborne from Chase U
mm-hmm.
in a match with Ridge Holland because they've been having their beef for a minute now. Riley's saying you can't trust Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland is saying, I'm trying to show you I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm not the same person who I was a couple weeks ago." So
Mm-hmm.
they end up having a match.
Yeah.
It's set up by Andrew Chase, Andre Chase,
Andre Chase. Mm-hmm. Andre Chase.
and it's a of course it's another speed versus power match. We got Ridge Holland, a powerhouse, versus Riley Osborne, the speedster.
Right.
And Ridge Holland takes control of the match early, and really, for the most part, dominates the match until
I
the,
go ahead.
until the end of the match, where Riley starts to come back, and
Mm-hmm.
they end up outside of the ring, and Ridge Holland, after being stunned, he starts going to that dark place in his mind. He goes to grab the steps, and Thea Hill's like, "Nah, nah, nah, we ain't doing this." And
Right.
he snaps out of it and wins the match fairly.
But I have to say, I honestly still really like this Ridge Holland storyline.
I do too.
I really do. I like the Ridge Holland storyline, and I kind of like him with Taya better than I like
Yeah,
Taya with Chase U.
yeah.
Like, I feel like we need to have Ridge Holland and Taya as his like the person who comes down to the ring with him all the time, and he is fighting good and he's doing his thing because he is really talented.
Hmm.
But like when he goes into that dark place, Taya is there to help him get out of it. And then
Yeah.
I hope, and then he comes out of it, da da da. And eventually, I would want to see, like, if I was writing it, I would have Taya be the one to bring him out of the dark place over and over and over again. And then eventually it gets to the point where Taya turns into someone else and pushes him into the dark side. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like the power of her pulling him out of the dark side no longer works. And then she's kind of like, why are we trying to get this man to change anyway? He's powerful, he's strong, he can go into that dark place. And she kind of lets him go there. And then she pulls him out after it's over and it's like, it's okay. Just
Yeah.
like a whole manipulative type thing, like they like to do with the women anyway. Like she's manipulating him into going into the dark place, and then when he comes out, he feels bad, but she's like, "No, you didn't do anything wrong," and so he starts believing that he didn't do anything wrong, and it's
Uh-huh.
I kind of that would eat up honestly if
And
I was writing
honestly,
for.
I think that's the direction they're heading because after the match, Ridge Holland trying to shake Riley Osborne's hand, and Riley just leaves him hanging and slides out under the ring. And then we get to a backstage interview, and Riley goes off his one way, and Tia, she's breaking down. She's had enough. She storms off because I think that's where they're going.
Mm-hmm. I would love that. I think it would be so great to have Taya with Ridge and just let them be them, and she ain't got to worry about chasing you no more.
Yeah, but it was a it was a solid match. The typical WWE big man versus your speedster match. They're always it's always gonna be a spot for those type of matches.
Hmm. I liked it. I thought on paper like it's supposed to be an exciting match, and I thought it lived up to being an exciting match. I loved the bet, and I loved to seeing the comeback for Riley at the
Hmm.
end, but then Ridge just wins clean,
Yeah,
and so I like that. I like that dynamic, and I think it's going to be interesting to watch if they do go the way of Taya and Ridge.
yeah, definitely. At this point, Metaphor is spiraling out of control. They've had another attack on them.
Oop.
Oro, we pan backstage to he's been jumped and he's down on the ground crying for medical. Lash and I can't think of her name right now. They run over. They're calling for revs, and now that's two members of Metaphor who've now been jumped.
Mm-hmm. I ain't whatever.
All right.
That's how I feel about metaphor, Mike. Whatever.
And then we cut to a backstage interview from Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the OC,
Mm-hmm.
who are calling out Nathan Frazier and Axiom for a tag team match at Battleground. Tag team
I'm
titles match at Battleground.
not mad about that. I think Battlegrounds is shaping up to be a really good
That's
show.
gonna be a really good show.
It's shaping up to be a really good show.
Ooh. Next match we have Malik Blade and Adris
Easier
Enofi
way.
or Nofis taking on
Mm-hmm.
the OC after they've issued a challenge. Excuse me. With their good luck charm, as they said. And then the match starts. Blade and Edris, they start off with all right. So Malik Blade and Idris Enofe taking on the OC in a tag match. Blade and Idris get the jump early on the OC until they inadvertently take out their good luck charm, which causes Idris to not be mentally in the match anymore, which allows the OC to get the upper hand. And once they got the upper hand, you may as well call it good night. A bunch of rookie mistakes, like Malik needing a tag, but his partner's not there because Carl Anderson distracting the ref. So Idris goes to try to talk to the ref, and he can't even be there for his tag team partner trying to tag out the match.
All right.
So the OC using their veteran wisdom to get the win with the Magic Killer. I love their finisher.
I really do too. I think their finisher is kind of cool. I feel like for these last few weeks we've seen Idris and Malik. They just haven't been able to pull it together,
Can't get
and
out
they
their own
keep
way.
going. They get in their own way. Absolutely, they kind of like go back and forth about this good look charm, but they really need to just leave the girl behind, leave her backstage because it's more trouble for her because they can't focus on the match when they
Mm-hmm.
focusing on her. And then, like you say, a lot of rookie mistakes. And I know they're a new team, and I know they're trying to build them up. Um, I feel like one day maybe they can get it together, but they really need to focus. Focus
Yeah.
on the task at hand. Stop getting so distracted by everything around them and
Mm-hmm.
just focus on the match. Um, I don't know. I'm kind of over them, honestly, this back and forth with them and
Yeah.
their bad luck ways, and then they always blame it on luck instead of skills. Like if you had better skills, you wouldn't need the luck. But it's the story. It's their gimmick right now. So
I mean, like they were even saying on commentaries, Booker T was like, "It's not no bad luck. They just need some proper training." He was like, he wished he could get with them and talk to them and train them up. That's
absolutely.
what they need. Talking about a girl is good luck in the
No.
wrestling business. Come on now.
Okay, and as look, speaking from a woman, we are never good luck in the wrestling business. We are the distraction. We get in the way of because they're trying to now make sure that we don't get hit or by in the mixed up because as soon as we get hit and we fall on the floor, oh, are you okay? Because that's natural what you do.
Mhm.
So leaving at the ringside is not good luck for you. I mean, if you can handle it, then you can have a valet or you can have a girl on the outside and that be your, part of your faction and whatever. But if you ain't capable of doing that and focusing on the job at hand, then you need to leave all distractions in the back. Let her come out, let her uh, be at the back, and then when y'all walk down the aisle, she go backstage. Like,
Yeah,
no. She can still be part of the faction and part of the group without being at ringside because y'all don't know how to handle that yet. But I wish Booker T would grab them, train them, and show them how to do it because ain't nobody do it better than Harlem Heat with
exactly.
Sensational Sherry out there. You just have to know what to do. And if you go have somebody out there with you, you better have somebody who can take a bump. And you ain't got to worry about it. If I get hit, I get hit. It's okay. Don't worry about me. You focus on the ring, and then once you hit the 1, 2, 3, then you come check on me. We all right.
Exactly.
But yeah, no.
But yeah, rookie mistake after rookie mistake. OC gets the match, but after the match, they get ambushed by Axel and Fraser, who
Mm-hmm.
come out and agree to their challenge at Battleground. So now we have a tag team championship match at Battleground between Axiom and Fraser and the OC.
Loves that. It's gonna be a good match because all four of them are really, really good. So I'm excited about
Yeah,
this. Like I said, Battlegrounds is shaping up to be
yeah,
something
yeah. I
interesting.
can't wait to watch that. Maybe I'm off that week. Maybe I'll fly to Vegas.
It must be nice. Uh,
But yeah, after that, we get a vignette from Dante Chen celebrating his very first win in NXT over Lexus King,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're backstage celebrating him and a bunch of other guys who came from Level Up, and Lexus is interrupting them, talking about, "Oh, it's a fluke. It'll never happen again. This, that, and the third." Basically, your typical sore loser after every match.
Absolutely.
And since Lexus says it'll never happen again, Dante was like, "Well, let's run it back then." And Lexus is like, "Okay, bet. I
Period.
I'd be glad to show you that this was a fluke."
Okay.
So we get that match set up for later on tonight.
Absolutely.
And then we get another backstage interview with Trick Williams and Young OG Javon Evans backstage working out. Trick is thanking Javon for having his back last week. And Javon like, "Man, of course, I'm glad to be in the room with you." And Trick, of course, being humble, like, "Man, stop that." But so they're prepping the game plan for their match tonight against Gallus.
Mm-hmm.
As and then they're interrupted by Sexy Red, who comes to get them ready for their match. And then Sexy Red, she's giving them hype for the match. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. And Javon throws the idea that she comes out to the ring with them, and she's like, "All right, bet." So she comes out. They walk out the locker room, get ready to come out to the ring for their match. But before before their match, Roxanne Perez comes out and cuts a promo about her wanting to be the NXT Women's Championship, wanted to have that belt since she's 9 years old, how she's the only one that's actually wanted to have that championship belt, how she brought legitimacy to that
Mm-hmm.
belt, and how she feels disrespected about the way that she's finding out her opponent for Battleground.
Mm-hmm.
Then Ava comes out talking about, "No one disrespected you. I think you're a great champion. But I just think you're going about it the wrong way." And she introduces her opponent for Battleground to be TNA Knockouts champion Jordan Grace. She's back in the WWE for the first time since the Rumble. And what is going on? Is WWE and TNA forming some sort of
It,
agreement, partnership?
it has to be. It has to be something for them to not only have Jordan Grace at Rumble, which was amazing, and
Exactly.
she had a great showing at Rumble, and I was like, oh, okay, that's gonna be it. Unless her contract is running out with TNA, and then she'll come to WWE. But no,
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 no, no, no.
she is still the TNA Knockout Champion, and she is still currently on TNA. But they have brought her over to NXT for a championship match against Roxanne Perez. Like, what? I literally was like, are y'all kidding me right now? What is actually going on? What is actually happening here? I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm excited. You're muted.
And yeah, that's crazy. I just looked up Jordan Grace's contract. She's still under contract with TNA for another year.
Yeah.
So she's TNA Knockout champion, still under contract for another year with TNA, and they're just letting her go to perform in WWE more than once. Because the Rumble is one thing. Everybody comes to the Rumble. You
Right.
bound to see somebody from another company show up for a one-off Rumble appearance. But nah, she's back. She's back in WWE. She's in NXT. They've already announced her for 2 weeks out to be the fighting for the NXT Women's Championship.
What
And we'll find out later that she's gonna have another match on NXT.
This is crazy. Because see, for me, I'm nervous. I mean, I love having her here. Don't get me wrong. But she is the TNA Knockouts champion. And I don't want, I don't, like you said, she's under contract with TNA for another year. So is she going to come to NXT to this battleground and lose to Roxanne Perez? And if she comes to lose, what does that say? Or what does that do to her reputation as a TNA Knockouts champion? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, do you bring her over and she loses um to Roxanne so Roxanne can be like, I am so great. I beat the other TNA women's knockouts champion and I'm still NXT champion, blah blah blah. Or does she come over and win? And it's like, but she's not officially signed to WWE, so she couldn't possibly win the title, could she?
I don't see her winning the title. I'm gonna say this: as long as it's a good match, I don't think it hurts her reputation,
Okay.
and as long as the finish of the match makes sense, she can't. I almost want to say she can't lose clean, because then, like you were saying, that may hurt her reputation. But at the same time, if she's not gonna lose clean, and I don't see a scenario in which she wins, how do we get to the point to where everybody walks out still looking like, okay, Jordan Grace goes back to NXT, goes back to TNA, looking like she's still the dominant knockout champion.
Hmm.
Of
I
course,
mean,
Rox, go ahead.
yeah, I feel like Roxanne is such a heel
Yeah,
champion right now that she could possibly do some shenanigans and make it a not a clean win against Jordan. So that makes Jordan look like she didn't really lose. Like you
yeah,
just technicalities, like the ref didn't see something, or I think that's the way they are going to have to go to keep Jordan as dominant on TNA.
mhm,
Like she needs to dominate this match against Roxanne, and then something crazy happens. Maybe somebody comes out, or cheating happens, chairs, shenanigans, foolishness,
yeah,
whatever. But that way Jordan loses, but she still loses in a very dominant fashion where people are like, oh well, she was cleaning her clock until this happened, and then the cheating happened, and Roxanne can pull it off because then she'll be like, I don't know what you mean, like I
yeah,
won, and that's the kind of heel champion that she is. So I think that has to be the way this goes down. Like it can't
yeah,
be a clean win against Jordan and then send her back to TNA, like, and then it can't be a clean loss either. So I don't know. I can't wait to watch it actually.
yeah. That may be the most interesting match of the night for
Mm-hmm.
Battleground. But
Mm-hmm.
now that the more I just sat here and thought about it for a minute, with us finding out that Jordan Grace is going to be wrestling next week on NXT,
Mm-hmm.
that could be where she gets her dominant win in the WWE. So it's like, okay, she's the real deal. She squashes who she's wrestling, and
Mm-hmm.
then after a grueling match, if Roxanne is to pin her clean, I don't think it hurts her as much because Roxanne, she's a heel. She's gonna try to find everywhere to cheat, but she can wrestle.
Yes, she can.
So
Absolutely.
taking a loss to Roxanne may not do as much damage as we may think. So I think
Mm-hmm.
with Jordan wrestling next week, she could possibly lose, take an actual pinfall, and be
Mm-hmm.
okay, which would only elevate Roxanne
Yeah.
and make her character even more annoying to the fans. So
Agreed.
I could see how she could take a loss just sitting here thinking about it.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what happens.
But yeah, I'm excited for that match. Then we get a vignette for Eddie Thorpe saying that he's been reborn. Okay. I don't even know who Eddie Thorpe is for real, but
So like, okay,
I,
you're reborn. Great, good on you.
I was like, who is this? Like literally, I started watching the whole thing. Like, who is this? Until he said his name. I was like, okay, good for you. But then she gets her comeuppance.
Oh,
Ariana Grace has to go one on one with Lola Vice for sticking her nose in her business, and she gets squashed.
yeah,
It wasn't
quite.
squashed. That
It
match was
was
over in 3 minutes. That was the WWE
it
speed
was
match.
it was quite. It was definitely a speed match. I was like, oh,
I
girl,
looked up like, oh, it's over. Golly,
it was so bad. It was so fast. You blink and it was over.
and she tried. Of course, she's not. She's the elegant girl as she, elegant woman as she is. She's not trying to fight. She's protecting herself, trying to get a cheat rolled up. She tried that 3 times in a row, and then proceeded to get squashed.
Well,
And
no better
then
for look, no better for her, honestly.
exactly, but then Lola gets on the mic and calls out Shayna,
Hmm.
and it's like Shayna was just waiting. Please say my name. As soon as she said her name, her music hit and she ran down the ramp. Security's holding her back. She's trying to fight. Lola's like, "Come on, come on!" And they're being separated. And Nick and that battleground, they got an NXT Underground match. Another.
That's another match I'm actually excited to see.
I'm not.
I,
I'm
I
sorry.
mean,
The two. They both can wrestle. Shayna can wrestle. Lola can wrestle. Why is it? I don't need another underground match. I was
I,
highly disappointed by Spring Breaker.
yeah, I
That
mean, I don't like the underground aspect of it all. I just like the Shayna Baszler and the Lola Vice of it all. So
yeah,
for me, I would rather see them because I think they both are good, and I kind of really want Shayna to get her, like get her.
yeah. But it'll be an okay match. It's just the underground stipulation. They could have found a better
Hmm.
stipulation than that.
I agree. I agree with you.
Then we pan back to New Quarter Catch Crew. Still
Hmm.
struggle saying that name, but I got it.
It's a lot.
We cut backstage to them working out, and Charlie is losing his mind because he's lost his Heritage Cup. And he says, as much as he hates say to say anything good about the D'Angelo family, Tony he likes the way he runs his faction, and he starts tripping about we need this, we need that, we need to be precise how the D'Angelo family runs, and then he assigns Damon to go one on one with Tony D next week
Hmm.
to try to get back their Heritage Cup. I kind of see this being the end slowly to the no quarter catch crew
Okay.
because Charlie's gonna start to try to run it like he's Tony D'Angelo, and Damon and I can't think of the other guy's name are gonna be like, "Hey, that's not how we ran things over here. I don't know what's
Hmm.
gotten into you, but I'm out. You're tripping."
Right.
So I think
I
they
can
could
see
leave
that.
him
He
over the Heritage Cup.
he has nothing, nobody to run. He's no family to run if
Exactly.
they don't agree. But hmm I mean, I wouldn't be mad with that honestly because I'm sick of trying to figure out how to say no quarter catch crew. It's a lot. It's a mouthful to say. So.
Yeah, that's definitely tough to say. Then we cut back. Then we cut to a different part of backstage in the medical room. We cut to Metaphor and Oro, who's getting treated by the doctor, and Valentina Feroz and Laugh Legend are having a conversation. and they're starting to freak out because Valentine points out that both of their male members of Metaphor, Noah Dar and now Oro, have gotten attacked. So she's in her own head saying that they're next. And once again, they start questioning Trick Williams, and she finally caves and says, "Okay, I'll go ask Trick. He's not gonna lie to me. He'll tell me the truth if he's the one behind the attacks to that."
Like I said, I am kind of over Metaphor. Honestly, I kind of want it to be over.
Yeah,
And I just this what I like and what I hate about NXT all at the same time. I do like we get a lot of character things backstage, but we seem like we're getting a lot of
we're getting a lot.
backstage.
It's
A
like
lot, like
half the
way
show is
too much.
backstage.
Right.
I was sitting there thinking, this is a wrestling show. Triple H has made it clear that this is a wrestling show. We're not an events era anymore. It's not sports entertainment.
Right.
And we're getting a lot of backstage stuff, a lot of vignettes, a lot of backstage interviews.
And I don't know. For me, I just kind of feel like a lot. It's much too much. I'd rather see more matches.
Yeah,
than
maybe it was just this episode of NXT. We got a lot of backstage stuff. They're setting up. They're setting up for Battleground. So maybe that's the case. But yeah, we definitely got a lot of backstage stuff this week. And
a lot. But
like I was sitting there watching it, like, golly.
like all this backstage stuff, so much. Can we get to a match, please?
Exactly.
I mean, it went from one part to another part to another part, all backstage. Like we had 3 backstage segments each unit. Like each time we go to a commercial, we go to a match, and we come back, and it's 3 backstage segments before we get to the next match. It's like, come on, like
yeah, they were definitely spamming the backstage segments this week.
Yeah, a lot.
But now we do have another match. We got the rematch from last week. We've got Lexis King. Lexis King. I miss you, Lewis.
Shout out to you, Lewis.
Lexis King and Dante Chen have a rematch, and it ends the exact same way.
Yeah.
Chen wins via a roll up after Lexis King is complaining to the ref about a 2 count. Now we just had a match and where rookies made rookie mistakes and it cost them a match. Yeah. Lexis is not a rookie.
No.
He should know better than to be complaining to the ref about a 2 count and stay on the attack. And that cost him.
Chris Jericho wannabe gets on my nerves.
You know what's crazy? I literally so after the match, he attacked Dante Chen. Mm-hmm. As he was walking off the stage, as he was walking out, I said, that man looked just like Chris Jericho.
I said that the first time we saw, remember 2 weeks ago when we were on here, and I was like, why did this dude just remind me of Chris Jericho? Like
I was like, golly.
It just does. And then he had the nerve to have a little top.
Exactly.
I was like, this man is Chris Jericho.
He copied his whole blow. He copied his whole flow.
The whole stilo, he copied it. So I was like, oh, okay. All right. But man, yeah. He started to get on my nerves, but
yeah. But it was an okay match. Nothing special.
I honestly didn't like the match. The match was kind of, well, I would not want to watch that match again. It was very much like, ugh, whatever.
Yeah. Once again, another vignette. Josh Briggs is struggling to find himself. He's going down this dark path, but he promises to figure it out. And then we go to a backstage interview, and Sean Spears is talking about all these young guys in NXT are all struggling to find themselves. But he promises that he's going to help them, whatever that means.
Whatever. We
Okay,
move.
exactly. Now we got another match. We got the last qualifying match for the Women's North American Championship match with
Mm-hmm.
Kalina Jordan,
Kalani.
Kalani, Kalani Jordan.
Come on, man.
It's
It's late. No, I get it. It's late.
late.
We're tired, y'all. So excuse Donna for mispronouncing. It's Kalani. We got it.
Kalani Jordan, and I can't think of her first name.
Ren Sinclair.
Ren Sinclair.
Ren Sinclair.
So we've got Kalani Jordan versus Ren Sinclair with Fallon Henley on commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Solid match. Solid match. Kalani Jordan gets the win. And now the field is set for the ladder match at Battleground.
Yeah, that's who I wanted to win the match. I was like, I want
Yeah.
Kalani to win the
Yeah.
match anyway. She did, so I was like, yay, great on that. I thought it was a good solid match between the two of them. They went back and forth for a little bit. It was
Uh-huh.
fine. It was fine. It was fine.
I'm ready for
And I feel
that.
like the six that are in the
Yeah.
in the
That's
match, it's
that's
gonna be
gonna
a
be a
good
good
one.
match.
That's
That's
going to be
gonna
a good
be a
one.
good
That's gonna be
match.
something I'm interested in. Can't wait to watch in Battleground.
Yeah. I got to think about who I think is gonna win for our predictions episode on that if we have it.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Then we got another backstage interview. Excuse me, but this time it's Wesley. He's talking about how he's been in triple threat matches before. He wished it would have been a one-on-one match with Obafemi for his belt, but he's beat the odds before. He'll beat the odds again. And then Obafemi comes and interrupts his interview, and he says that he's going to retain his title at Battleground.
But he should say, well, he goes, say, I'm going to lose against you. Of course not. He said what he should say. And Wesley said what he should say. Like, I can
Exactly.
do this. And what he going to be like, oh, I've not been in a triple threat match and I'm going to lose. No, he's going to say what he says. So this was a typical promo cut from the two of them.
Yep. Then we get to the main event. We have Trick Williams and Young OG Javon Evans going up against Gallus. They have Sexy Red come out to the ring with them. She's in their corner. And we have Trick and Javon win the match.
Period.
Of course they were gonna win.
Of
My
course.
guys. They're my
Absolutely.
guys. They have to win.
They have to win. They honestly have to win at this point for me.
It was once again a solid match. A good to solid match depending on your taste for it. Of all the sexy redness in the match. Sexy Red stopped Gallus from trying to cheat by using the NXT Championship to get the win.
She
But
showed
yeah,
no worse.
yeah, solid match. Hopefully, she's not involved in any matches at Battleground.
Yeah, I hope not. Just host the show and move on.
Exactly. After the
I'm
match,
about to say, but that ain't
oh,
what all that happened. It didn't stop
it
there.
ain't just go off the air.
No,
After
no,
the match,
no.
we had Laz come out and Javon and Sexy Red. They leave. They're like, oh, that's y'all beef, whatever y'all got going on.
Right.
And Lash is about to ask Trick, she asked him, was Trick the one behind all the attacks? And Trick is about to answer, and then the lights go out. And when the lights come back on, AEW's Ethan Page is in the ring, and he attacks Trick Williams. And he confirms that he is the one who attacked Noam Dar. He is the one who attacked Oro. And then he's attacked Trick Williams as well.
Now, I don't watch AEW too much. So I don't know who this Ethan Page is, but now I guess I'm gonna find out since he is now in WWE and he is now in NXT, which I love, and I feel like everybody who has been in AEW, who hasn't been in WWE, who started in AEW
Yeah.
and coming out of AEW should go to NXT first and learn the
Yeah.
ways of WWE, just like they did Jade.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm excited to see who this Ethan Page is. To see,
All Go
well,
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm excited. I mean, I'm sure he might have been in um other
Promotions.
promotions and other things. I just don't know who he is. That's just me.
Yeah.
If you know who Ethan Page is, good on you. Good on you. I just personally don't know him, but I'm well ready and open and ready to get to know him because he just made a big statement. Like he came out and the first thing he did was attack the NXT champion,
Mhm.
and he made a bold statement. So I hope he can, you know, match up to all this hype and this boldness that's coming around him. He attacked two people, well now three people,
Three
uh,
people now.
so I'm excited to see what happens with this Ethan Page, and I want to see what he got. What he, what's he all about? You know?
Yeah. So this looks like it's setting up for an Ethan Page versus Trick match at Battleground. So we'll be able to see what Ethan's got going up against the top guy in the company right now. But to your point about AEW, it's one person from AEW who, if they came over, I think could skip NXT, and that's
MJF.
MJF. I don't think
Yeah.
he would. MJF would be probably the only person who hasn't been in WWE who's shown that they're WWE ready. I don't think he would need NXT.
I mean, I don't think he probably would have to come in and do a stint at NXT, but I do think if he decided to come over, they will have him before he comes completely over. They will have him in a performance center
Yeah, in
to
the performance center, yeah.
get ready. But he is a big enough name in AEW that he would just come right onto the main roster.
Yeah, his
I can
promo
see that.
work is already good enough.
Absolutely.
But like you said, yeah, go to the performance center to get the WWE style of match,
Right.
get
Exactly.
get WWE working style. But yeah, his promos A1. He don't need it. He don't need to go there for the promo work.
No, he just needs to go for the style, the ring style, how they do things in
Yeah,
WWE and how it. But I think he is somebody who is ready to come over if he ever comes over.
if he ever did.
We'll see.
But
But
that's it. That's
oh,
NXT.
overall, I thought this was a solid show. I think the surprises and all
Yes.
the revelations of who's going to be at Battleground and all these things, those were like top tier. That was A
Yes.
plus for this show. It really made the show so
It
much
made
better.
it made the show because of without those two bombshells,
Right.
I would say this was a average to maybe even below average show
Mm-hmm.
with all the vignettes, and it's
Yeah.
mostly talking is the instead of fighting, it's building up to Battleground. But we them two bombshells made the show.
Yeah. It actually made it very interesting to watch, and I was excited to see it. And I can't wait to see what happens at Battleground. It made me more excited about
Yeah,
Battleground than normal. So I'm excited
yeah.
about that. But that's it. That's all, y'all. We talked about NXT. We gonna be back. Like I said, we're gonna talk about Battleground because when does Battleground happen, Donovan?
A week from Sunday, we got one more episode of NXT before
So,
Battleground.
so
Not
we
this
will.
Sunday. Not this Sunday
Oh, it's
coming
the
up.
same week as or the week before um, Clash of the Castle.
Yeah, it's the week before Clash of the Castle because
So
it's
okay, yeah. So the week before Clash of Castle. So we'll come back. We're gonna do our predictions. I don't know if it's gonna be me and Donovan, or we might get Brooke on here to do a predictions show with us for NXT. But we'll talk about Battleground, do our predictions on that, And we'll be back next week with more Who's NXT. We appreciate you watching. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell on your way out. This was Donovan's first show hosting, so y'all cut him some slack. He did great. I'm proud of him. He ate. He'll eat up more later on as he gets comfortable. But I just wanted him to have his first taste of hosting the show. So
Yeah.
I think he did great. But follow us on all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. That's so we drop our funniest moments. Go look in the description below to our link tree and get all the links to all of our YouTube channels and our audio podcast channels and our membership channels where we put out early access and exclusive content across all 4 channels in our membership channel. So go check that out. You can also follow myself and Donovan. You see us scrolling down there. My Twitter, his Instagram. My Instagram is right here. And if you keep scrolling down, you can get your cup merch, period. Not limited to, but also including the cup mug. You can get any of our other cup related items on the Etsy shop, lanagcreations.etsy.com. And yeah, that's it. We're gonna get out of here. So cheers, y'all.
See y'all next week.
Bye.